Yeah, we're coming to you out of the apartment here in London at the moment, everybody. Our TV show starts a couple of weeks, but this is...
Until Kylie Minogue joins us in about half an hour's time here in the lair, this is the biggest moment of the show. I'm calling it early.
Yeah, I agree. It even has its own opener.
Knick, knack, paddywhack, give an app a go. Some of these apps really, really need a go. Available for ringtone purchase if I turn it into an app. And last week on the show, we were talking about the fact that often, we come across people that always have good ideas for apps.
Or think they do.
It happens a lot at the pub where someone goes, mate, that should just be an app.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, that lightsaber app did so well when iPhones were new. And what about the one that makes it look like you're drinking beer? You just need a simple idea. One idea. Yeah. And a lot of apps probably get born of that excitement at the pub. And then, as we discovered on last week's show, there are some that do get made. Yeah. But then the world doesn't meet them with the same excitement the pub did. There's a lot of head scratching. Yeah. Maybe that's where we step in. We get a bit of hype around these apps. That's what Knick Knack Paddywhack Give an App a Go is all about. We picked 3 last week. People called up and said, look, I'm the developer. I know the developer. We thought this would be big. It hasn't got big. Can you help us out?
Give us one more push.
Yeah.
And you pick one, and hopefully that can get it off the ground. 3 people called in. Yeah. Michael, Melinda, James. Michael's was an app called 0.03 seconds. Yep. Melinda, Lost for Words, and James had an app called Bean Hunter.
Yep.
Jury is in now, Ham, and you and I have to deliberate.
Well, look, let's kick it off with Bean Hunter. Okay. Did you download it? You don't drink coffee, and this is an app that helps you find a coffee store nearby.
I need to apologise to James up front.
Okay.
And
because of your sloppiness
I know.
And your resistance to even download Bean Hunter, I will give it a glowing review to make up.
Well, the thing is, it was never going to appeal to me. What was the point? It's like dog grooming tips. I don't own a dog, but I'm not going to download it.
As an app reviewer, Ando, your job is to go in.
Here's my review. Didn't use it once. Stinker.
Isn't that like being like a TV or a restaurant critic or something going, I told everyone that my favourite food is McDonald's. Why did I have to go to this restaurant? I hated it. I wanted McDonald's.
Well, obviously, it's not as simple and cut and dry as that, but it does have elements, yes.
Ando, look, it's good. It's good. It's like a lot of review ones. I think because there's not a lot of reviews on there yet, and the score that you get for different coffee shops. Yeah. To be unfair, though, there are a bunch of reviews from people in London, so it's doing okay. Okay. But the score that you get is an aggregate of all the people that have reviewed it. A lot of them have just got one review, so you're getting a pretty easy 10. Yeah, I think a lot of places are getting easy 10s at the moment. Yeah. That would be my downfall. But look, Bean Hunter, great. Yeah. It's not... It hasn't set the world on fire. Okay. But if you hunt beans... Yeah. Get amongst it. I think in the words of James, he actually said get around it. Or maybe that was Mike last week.
It was Mike.
Lost for Words.
Melinda's app.
This is an app where you open it up. I've got it in front of me now. And it will have categories like birthday, congratulations, saying thanks, sympathy, etc. You click on it and it will give you a suggested message for a card or whatever. Let me go to love. Okay. I click on love. Things like you're never alone when you're loved, I love you, stuff like that. That's all good. Things that you can... I mean, if you're in love with someone, I would encourage you to come up with your own words. Yeah. However, if you're that lost for words, as it were, use lost for words. Divorce is one that that got me. It's under sympathy. Yeah. Messages for divorces, they're very hard times. There's never an easy one. I thought, what's lost for words? Got under its belt. Some of the divorce messages were, getting a divorce is hard, not as hard as spending the rest of your life with the wrong person. That's fair. This is the one that got me. This is the last one in the divorce category. It's, you're never alone, I'm here for you. If that's from someone of the same sex, fine. Yeah. Opposite sex, it could be filed under waiting out a relationship, and this is the first step to swooping messages.
I liked Lost for Words.
This is quickly becoming David and Margaret.
But my problem with it was, if it might have a situation where they go, why did you write that? And you have to reveal to them that you downloaded an app because you didn't know what to say to someone. I think that's a bit of a worry. Yeah. Margaret.
I'm going to say to Melinda that, you haven't won with Lost for Words, and my message to you is, I was saddened to hear about your loss. Please know how sorry I am.
Taken from Lost for Words.
Taken from the condolences section of Lost for Words.
Which means the winner is Michael.
Mike with 0.03 seconds, the game that tests your reaction speed. Look, maybe from the outset it was always going to be a game that won.
Two blokes.
But Mike, the only question I've got for you is, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, yours is the app we're officially giving a go. Well, I mean, we gave all of them a go, but
we're going to continue, and we're going to encourage people to give it a go.
Continue to give 0.03 seconds a go. The only thing is, Mike, when I went to the App Store to download it, there's a game called 0.02 seconds. And are you worried about the presence of that game? Because when I clicked on it, it says from the developers of 0.03 seconds. So are you pushing the inferior product?
Firstly, I feel like Horgs, that's a rip-off, firstly. That's definitely not from the developers of 0.03 seconds. I'll give you the hot tip. So I can now feel Horgs just paying for his ideas and now he's being ripped off, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, they do say in their blurb that they're from the developer of 0.03 seconds, so that's a lie.
So now they're lying. That's terrific. No, that's okay. We'll push forward from that.
Because they've got almost 3,000 ratings on their app. Like people want to play 0.02 seconds. I'll tell you that.
And they all think it's fine because it's from the same guys that bought out.
And they all think it's been updated from the guys that bought you 0.03 seconds, as if someone in the 0.03 seconds office has suddenly gone, hang on a sec, there is a number lower than 0.03.
Michael, stay on the line. Let's get Horgs up. Let's get Horgs up to talk to Michael about how to deal with such problems.
He'll be able to
after this song.
Yeah, we'll get Horgs to counsel you through this, Mike. Stick around.
It's a Hamish Andy driving you home. I was about to call.
1060 Horgs.
Tell Horgs to ring them.
That's all right, Horgs. We've got your number.
Michael, how are you feeling as we've told you that there is this other app out there?
Well, obviously a little disappointed, but I have in the break sort of a new one, and I know one number that's probably a little bit quicker than 0.02 seconds. So
well, don't give it away
on
just
yet. On the lookout for 0.01 seconds to soon be released.
Well, you're starting an arms race with these other developers. They're bringing a 0.0001 seconds.
Horgs joins us, a man all too familiar with people ripping off great ideas. Horgs, how are you?
Gents, not bad.
I understand that you're at an airport, Horgs, in New Zealand or something.
I am. I'm stopping home for an hour, so you've just caught me.
Oh, good.
Flying around the world, selling inventions.
Horgs, first of all...
I assume you've just come back from Eurovision, where you've been trying to sell I Hate Mondays to the Swedes.
Didn't work.
Horgs, talk to Michael. How do you deal with when you find out that an idea's been ripped off?
Look, it always happens. It's going to happen every time. So you just got to keep your head up and just, good idea. Go to the 0.01,
Horgs, have you played 0.03 seconds?
No.
No.
Probably
seems like
bloody good at it.
Yeah. We thought that as soon as we download it, we thought this has got Horgs written all over it. We can't recommend it highly enough because it is the winner of Knick Knack Paddywhack. Give an app a go. But Horgs, Anno and I were talking throughout the song there, and we came up with a bit of an idea, maybe to inspire Mike, to show him that when you get knocked down, you get back up again, as Chumbawamba said in this very town. Horgs, do you reckon, now that that's the benchmark, 0.03 seconds, it's officially our favourite app.
I should explain, Horgs, it's like a glowing red dot, and when it goes green, you've got to touch it, and that's what your reaction speed is. But Horgs, can you, and the slate is wide open here, it doesn't have to be a game, it doesn't, you can let your brain wander, it can be as creative as you like. Within 1 week, on next week's show, could we get an app from you, an app idea, that's even better than 0.03 seconds, because that is the high watermark?
Oh, definitely. There's actually, on the Excel sheet, I've actually got a couple of apps already.
Oh, really? Would you want to give us a hint of one of them now?
I can tell you, I think this one's not going to be it. But I think
good. Give us the silver or bronze.
But if you like it, I can work on it.
Okay.
So what might it not be?
Well, if it's... I'm thinking, I just don't know how to do it. If you can take a photo of something, and then it can tell you the dimensions.
What do you mean?
So you take a photo of a table,
Take a photo of a table, you're selling it on eBay. Oh, that's 1 metre by 2.3.
Yeah.
Or take a photo of like a glass, whatever. Take a photo of a human being. It's going to be tough. Like, I don't know how we do it.
It is going to be tough. It's one of those ideas where it requires software that, to my knowledge, hasn't been developed yet. But if it is, we've bloody got it.
Well, Horgs, we'll get a team. We'll get a crack team of developers.
What if you just put a ruler? You know how police do it with their photos? You just chuck a ruler on it, and it detects the ruler, and it goes, right, if that's the ruler, we know how big the table is.
Yeah. There you go.
What you've got here is essentially two guys on opposite sides of the world who don't know how to invent this, throwing up ideas that might not work.
Horgs, we're going to give you a full week. You can either go with that one, or you can have a new one next week. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Michael. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. What we'll do
is, we'll
get them both, Bill.
Mike's app is in the Hall of Fame now. 0.03 seconds. It's in the Knick Knack Paddywhack Give It Up and Go Hall of Fame. It cannot be touched. When 0.01 seconds comes out, don't worry, that goes straight in the Hall of Fame too. But Horgs now has a chance to join the elite ranks of Mike to inspire him.
We look forward to speaking to Horgs. Thanks for joining us, fellas. We look forward to speaking to you next week, Horgs. Haim, it's time for that segment.
It's Knick Knack Paddywhack Give An App a Go. Disaster here in the control box. As Andy throws the immortal lines of radio. It's time for a segment down. I would love that to be the opener for everything we do now in future. It's time for a segment. As we're obviously padding to hear the Knick Knack Paddywhack Give An App a Go theme song. I think that's the one from a few weeks ago. Yeah, back in the good old days, Anna, where we used to sing it live before we polished it up and laid it down on tape. Doesn't matter though, because whilst the opener is falling to bits, I think the actual segment is
it's really coming together. A ripeness, I would say. For people who don't know, Knick Knack Paddywhack Give An App a Go is people were calling up suggesting that they have apps already built on an iPhone that's not getting the recognition they deserved. We trialled a few of them. Some were better than others. None of them quite as good as Google Maps, I would say.
The king of the apps.
We then set the bar for Horgs, the people's inventor, to come up with an app. He said too easy. He gave us one on the fly, which was quite impressive.
If you've not heard Horgs before, he does have an Excel spreadsheet full of inventions. Yeah. His exact words were the Excel spreadsheet has a couple on there already. We said you've got a week, go back, find one, or create a new one, polish it up, give it to us. The time has come. He
joins us now early morning from New York, making this a very multinational show. Horgs, how are you? Oh, yes.
Transatlantic delay does not dampen the thrill of hearing the whistle.
Horgs, I know it's early morning. Thank you very much for getting up. Jump straight in.
Right.
What app have you come up with?
Well, I think everyone has enemies. I think you'd agree with me there.
Yeah. I would say
sad but true. You try not to have them. I mean, I can't actually think of an enemy. Who's your enemy?
Who's your enemy?
Oh, I've got a couple. I don't want to say it on air, but you know, everyone's got enemies. I'll give you a few examples. Simone Warne and Liz Hurley would be an example.
Sure.
Yeah, yep. Okay. Yep.
Maybe Kevin Rudd and Julia. There's the list goes on.
Yeah, okay.
But
to name it, Iran, America, yep.
I think you're right, Horgs. Yes, you've proved that point. How's this app going to help?
Is it like Enemy Finder?
Well, see, the problem is that there's nothing worse than running into your enemy on the street.
Yep.
Nothing worse. And so what this app is called, it's called Frenemies. So it's you were once friends, but now you're enemies. So it's a mutual agreement that you come together on this app that you don't want to run into each other. So as soon as you're within 300 metres of your enemy, you'll get an alert, and you'll look at it, and the alert will come and go, head north, enemies south. Right? You'll never have to go down the street and go, oh, hope Bug Lugs isn't down here.
Yeah, Julie Gillard's going to go, oh, my God, the bloody alarm's going off. I must be heading into Parliament House.
Okay, Hogs, does
love
it tell you exactly which enemy, like the alert? Or
I'd have to, yeah.
Like, so you know which one
Oh,
you're
yeah,
avoiding?
definitely, yeah.
Okay.
So
does it,
on average, people have 5 enemies.
Do they? Good to see you put some research into this, Hogs. Hogs,
Obviously,
one question...
Saddam Hussein was a high
He
end.
had 6. Hogs, the one thing I'd like to question here is, does it send a unique message to both of you? Like, if you both get the message saying, alert, alert, enemy in the area, head north, you might still bump into each other.
I think he's
Does
saying,
one head south?
Yeah, the other one would head south. Is that right,
Yeah.
Hogs?
And how far apart do you have to be before the app gives you the all clear that you can now head in any direction you choose to head?
Well, that's the thing. Well, I'm recommending 300 metres, but you can
once
change
you
it up.
started walking...
It's got the option on the app. You can go 50 metres, a kilometre.
Oh, so good. Just if you hate someone, not so much that you wouldn't want to see them, but you don't want to be within punching distance, 5 metres.
Okay, so you can change it up. Let's.
I love this so much. I reckon this is actually a great one for breakups. What if people have broke up? They're like, listen, we're talking right now, but we might not talk again.
Yeah.
Let's just put each other in frenemies. That way we don't have to bump into each other for a month.
All right, Hogs, we will get our team on making this thing. I think it'll take around about a month
Hogs,
to get it up.
I just want to hear, just so people understand and to excite people about the sale. If I was one of your enemies, Hogs, what would the phone call be like? So I answer and I go, Michael Horgan, what are you doing calling me?
What are you talking about? You're getting a message.
No, you have to call someone to say, listen, let's both go on frenemies.
So okay. Sorry. Yeah.
So I go, Michael Horgan.
Yeah,
Michael Horgan, what are you doing? I thought we were enemies. Why are you calling me?
Oh, have you heard about the app Frenemies?
Yes, I have.
I just want to, obviously, it's mutual that we don't like each other. I was wondering if you want to join me on Frenemies so we don't have the awkward, down the street pop into each other.
Yeah. Hey, mate, I heard you had twins. Sorry, by the way, congratulations.
Yeah. Anyway, are you happy to join Frenemies? Don't get into the chit chat. Whatever you do not get into the chit chat. All right?
It's well done. It's Pants Off Friday, Hamish Andy. We'll get this thing, mate.
It's good. It's so good.
And it's time to have a chat with Horgs Ham about his latest invention. He joins us now. Horgs, you there?
Gents, how's it going?
Yeah, good. No whistle?
No whistle, Horgs?
Not inventing today, so...
So you come to us, it's more of a troubleshooting meeting.
It's true. We've
this is a business meeting, that's true. So the whistle only comes out when you're in creative mode, and I suppose this is more of a formal business chat. Horgs, the good news is...
Well, the whistle's actually a yell out to investors.
It's true.
So they turn up, they hear the whistle, turn up the radio, and start to invest.
Well, we wouldn't want anyone accidentally pulling out the checkbook here because we are updating everyone on an invention you brought to us about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Can you give us a quick update, Horgs, on what the initial pitch was?
Well, everyone has enemies.
Yeah.
Everyone, on average 5, and it's so awkward walking down the street, thinking, I hope I don't, bump into one of my enemies today.
Yeah.
It's just awkward. Maybe even if you've got a new girlfriend, for example, and think, I hope the ex isn't down here.
Yeah. The enemy. Yeah.
So, if we invented an app that alerted us when the enemy's around, perfect. So what the app is, so you agree that you're enemies.
Yep.
You go on to frenemies. Once we're friends, now enemies, and then if you're within 200 metres of your enemy, an alert comes on
enemies north, head south.
Okay, that's my favourite part.
So this is, I mean, the people at Appster have been building this to those specifications that were read out on air about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
A couple of quick clarifications. Is this only available for people that were your friends and now your enemies? What if you were always enemies?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, good question.
Because, I mean, I love the name Frenemies. It's testing very well in market research, but people might be wondering if they can just register an enemy.
It's very rare just to become an enemy off the bat.
That's true. That's true. So
Yeah,
you usually have to have some sort of association, and then things turn sour.
Yeah, correct. So that's
So you would probably yeah.
That's like 1 or 2% of enemies. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're scooping 98% of the enemies pool by saying Frenemies anyway.
First of all, Horgs, we've developed it and it's looking great. Just wanted to ask you a few different questions. First of all, as it loads up, Frenemies, we've got Hamish Andy present Michael Horgan's Frenemies. Would you prefer Horgs as Frenemies, or do you like the full name being there? Would you like to include your middle name, which is of course Jepson?
I think
are all business questions.
It's got to be Horgs, doesn't it?
Yeah. I thought. Okay,
we'll address that. We'll address that.
Can it be like Horgs has invented something? You know, it'd be really like that.
Okay, just Horgs the Inventors Frenemies.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's talk the big one, Horgs. This is going to go in the iTunes App Store.
Or maybe before we get to that, Ham.
Yeah.
Horgs, you said that you can set the distance. There'll be pre-settings of 50 metres or more. How big do you want to make the range from 50 metres where you get the alert to how big?
Probably maybe a kilometre.
A kilometre's safe. I think that's safe.
Kilometre safe. Because if you're always probably within, if you live in the same city, you're within 30 k's of your enemies anyway. So probably a kilometre's the maximum.
Yeah, okay, great. That's all.
It takes 10 minutes to walk a kilometre, but if you both walk in the same direction, it's 5 minutes. Towards each other.
Yeah, and we are assuming that as soon as the alert goes off, you both immediately turn to your designated north or south and run. Yeah. What Horgs? What if one enemy doesn't move? I mean, what if you're at a Yumchar or something with the family? Yeah. Your alert goes off and it goes like, who's one of your enemies, Horgs, that would pop up on your version of the app?
Well, I got a few enemies, of course. I think that's...
You can't include the Japanese just because they steal all your inventions before you invent them.
Look, I've got a few enemies.
Yeah. Would you prefer to... Yep.
Well, Andy, who would want to be my enemies then? You know my enemies?
Well, I know. Yes, but I'm a little uncomfortable naming someone Horgs if they're not, in fact, your enemy. Like, if you go...
Times might have changed, Horgs. We've been in London for a few months.
I mean, it's a long time since you and I both,
got the list out and agreed on who the enemies are.
I'm sure Justin Rodsky from high school... Justin Rodsky from high school was our enemy, but I met him at the pub just recently. He was actually quite a nice fellow.
Put him on the list, though.
Okay, so the alert comes up and goes, Justin's nearby. Now, you're at Yumchar. Do you want a feature on the app which says you go yes, so you send the message to Justin? Because previously you guys have both agreed you're enemies and you've both got the app. So do you send a message going, listen, mate, I'll move? Or is there a function in there where you can send a message to someone going, listen, I'm at lunch, can you do the moving? Should you have an instant messenger thing so you can agree on who's doing the moving?
That'd be great. Just a bit of and you can almost blog, an instant blog kind of, I'm a Japanese, so I got here first, I booked last week.
Yeah. So, Horgs, what if, again, so if you've got a bit of an instant messenger feature... He texts back on the instant messenger and he goes, oh, mate, actually, yeah, I know the place. Listen, would love to come and just quickly say hi and have a beer and then I'll move.
Well, there's all, everyone can work it out between themselves on the message thing.
But what I'm saying is, what if you accidentally become friends again?
Well, then you removed off frenemies. Hey, let's cut to the crunch. Yeah, exactly. That might be part of
It'd be
Frenemies.
nice to see Mike and that's what it is, Frenemies. Mike and Justin back together.
Let the price. We're just going to quickly get this out of the way. Horgs, where do you see this price positioned within iTunes?
How much?
It's tough to put a price on enemies, really. Because you'd probably you'd pay top dollar, wouldn't you?
Well, Horgs, bearing in mind you have to ring the enemy and convince them also to buy it.
They're going to buy this as well. You both got to buy it.
That's right. What is $2.99? Is that too high?
Jack he's appalled with $2.99. Why don't we? What about $1.99?
One night. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, you got average of 5 enemies, 20 cents each. No, that's 40 cents each, isn't it? Yeah.
No. You've all got to buy the app. You can't go halves in the app. It's not like buying a CD and burning it for all your friends or enemies.
No, but you're writing it off as 40 cents each.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry, you're amortizing it. So you're going, is it worth 40 cents per enemy? Yeah. People would pay that.
Okay, $1.99, Horgs. We should have it up by the time we get back, and we'll get you on to
we'll have a launch party. We've got to do this. We've got to go Silicon Valley on this.
Yes, we will. Thanks for joining us, Horgs. Oh, he's been fade out.
He's still inventing.
It's Pants Off Friday. Gee, we've been waiting for this for some time.
This is, if I may steal iPhone's catchphrase, this changes everything, Ando.
It really does.
This is what the technology world has been waiting for. On the day, I think today the iPad Mini gets launched, and for it to be overshadowed by another bigger launch...
Yeah.
It really is, accidentally a bit of a death blow for Apple. Yeah. Having said that, it's the launch of an app that's available in their store, so it might be the lifeline that Apple needed.
Our friend Horgs, he comes to the show with inventions. Yeah. I think when we were in London a few months ago, he had a new iPhone app that he wanted to present to everyone.
Well, I think everyone has enemies. I think you'd agree with me there.
Yep. How's this app going to help?
There's nothing worse than running into your enemy on the street. Yep. Nothing worse. And so what this app is called, it's called Frenemies. So it's a mutual agreement that you come together on this app that you don't want to run into each other. So as soon as you're within 300 metres of your enemy, you'll get an alert, and you'll look at it, and the alert will come and go, head north, enemies south.
He joins us right now, everybody. Horgs, how are you going?
Chance, very well.
It's taken us 4 months to get it made. It's been refused by the Apple App Store a few times, and we had to go some
They kept knocking it back. It was eerily similar to their app, Find My Friends, except the inverse of that. But Horgs, it's been cleared. It is through on the App Store, and with great pleasure, we announce to the world it is live.
Oh, this is... It brings me back to the days when the I Hate Monday song came on board.
Yes.
You and Apple have a long history of you just delivering the goods and them selling it for you. Now I suppose while we're on the subject, we should tell you that it's gone up at a list price of $1.99.
Yep. $1 less than what you wanted it to go up for.
We're hoping
it's a bargain.
Yeah. It's a bargain at $1.99. And Horgs, according to our mole at Apple, 26 people have purchased it already since it went live this Arvo.
Really? Gosh, what's that? $54.
52, but it still is exciting. But I don't know how much of that you get. We should stress up front.
Have you got the app yourself, Horgs?
I downloaded it 10 minutes ago. It looks delightful.
The sticking point for a lot of people, Horgs, is the fact that you do have to contact your enemy and tell them to also download the app and then accept you as a frenemy.
Yep.
So then it gives you the alert if they're close by.
Yeah. It's tough, but it's worth it at the end of the day.
So what we thought we'd run past you, Horgs, is maybe we get you to call your enemy so everyone can hear how this is done. This kind of cooperation, but still keeping it nice and frosty so you're both enemies. Do you have an enemy in mind?
Yeah, I've got one.
don't know how well it's going to go down.
Well, this is your point, though, Horns. When's the last time you spoke to him?
I've never spoken to him.
Do you know who he is?
Kate used to go out with this guy.
Your wife used to go out. Okay. You've got the number, though?
I've got it off Kate, yeah.
She still has the number? Okay, anyway, we're going to...
I was curious that she still remembers it, but anyway.
Well, pop her in as a friend of me as well.
Horgs, just to recap, you've got an app out. People can find it, Frenemies, the Hamish Andy Frenemies app. You've got to list your enemy. You've got to make them download the app as well, and then it'll alert you if they're nearby, which is good because it's always bad running into your enemy.
Andy and I have been trying it out, and myself, Andy, and Jack are all frenemies with each other, and all day long we've been getting alerts saying, warning, warning, your enemy is north, head south. There is a 50-metre exclusion zone. You'll never be within 50 metres of your enemy. That is a wonderful prospect for people that can buy and use this app. However, this next bit we're about to hear is the cost, as well as the $1.99. This is the real cost you have to go through for this app to work, which is the call to your enemy to, I guess, propose to them that you now cooperate in such a way that you'll never have to see each other again.
Now, Horgs, you mentioned to us that there's a guy called Tim.
Tim, yeah.
Yep. The background here, it's quite a sticky one. Probably goes back around 10 years to the Horgs.
Probably 8, 9 years. I'm nervous.
Yeah. You've never spoken to him, Hawks?
Never spoken to him. I've seen him in a pub, once or twice.
Yep.
A few dagger stares.
Yeah.
And it's one of those ones where, gosh, you hate me.
So it's definitely worth both of you knowing where the other guy is.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm at Noosa at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'll love to, I'm nervous that he's up here.
You would love to know if he's far away, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, to fill everyone in, not to go into the huge details, but Horg's current wife, Kate, lovely girl.
Life partner forever.
Yes, was seeing this guy, Tim,
Yep.
and we were worried, Horgs, back at the day that there was a bit of a crossover. We couldn't work it out.
No crossover, hang on.
No, this is crossover, but it doesn't mean that there's not a frosty past. I mean, because let's face it, you stole a wonderful girl off him.
Yeah.
And, he's... he might want this just as much as you do, Hawks, because, look, I mean, who's laughing now? You've got Kate, you've got two beautiful boys.
Yeah.
And what's Tim got? By the sounds of things, just lonely nights at the pub.
So, Horgs, are you ready?
Okay, all right, let's do it.
We're going quiet, all right?
Oh,
Okay.
Good luck, man.
Remember to get him to buy the app. Don't get lost in old times.
Okay.
They don't have any.
Well, they do have one.
Okay, good luck.
Hello, Tim speaking.
Tim. Yes, it's Horgs here, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate, good.
Look, mate, I know this is obviously a bit of an awkward one, but, we've never spoken. And,
no, that's fine, mate.
And you'd probably agree that we're enemies?
Nah, mate, that's...
No?
No issues there, mate.
You sure? Because, I'm sure you're a fantastic guy. You probably think I am, but at the end of the day, we're enemies. And I've invented this app called Frenemies, which you can detect other enemies. And it's to be fantastic if we could join up on it. And then if we come within 300 metres of each other, it alerts us, so we don't have to run at each other in the street. We don't have any awkward moments. What are your thoughts about joining that?
Mate, this is going to be a joke.
No, I'm serious. It's on the App Store. It's only $1.99.
Is this one of your little radio stints that you're trying to get a cheap laugh at?
Tim, it's Hamish Andy here.
Boys, I could pick that one a mile away.
Well, Tim,
well picked, but it's not a cheap laugh. It's $1.99.
What we see, Horgs has invented an app where you basically, if you download it, it can tell you where someone alerts you when someone's within 300 metres of you. For frenemies, for people that you don't want to run into. The problem is, you do have to ring your enemy.
The conversation you guys just had is what's required for everyone that owns this app. we required Horgs to show us how the conversation would go down. I thought you were very amicable, Tim.
Yeah, okay.
I think in fact, you're a model frenemy. Yeah. I would love to have a frenemy like you because it was very pleasant, very businesslike. This is exactly what Horgs didn't want, which is a nice conversation with a good guy.
Yeah. So Tim, if you had an enemy that you, like, it doesn't have to be Horgs, it's someone else in your life, do you think you would have what it takes to ring them and ask them to download an app, at a cost, mind you, and then get to register yourself?
If I had an audience, I probably would, but if it was one-on-one, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah,
right.
Okay,
so this is interesting.
You having a go? Are you saying that I wouldn't have called you if it wasn't an audience?
Oh, they're back on their enemies again.
There's no way you would.
Oh, here we go, mate.
I tend to agree with Tim on this one.
Here we go. It's Horgs versus Tim again. This is what we wanted. Get personal, guys. Tim, are you going to buy it or not?
I'm not going to buy it.
No. Thanks very much for joining us, Tim. Hang on the line.
Thanks, mate.
Horgs, that is not the advertisement you wanted. You needed someone that was going to buy it.
I know. It was what a tight ass.
Keep it up, mate. You might get a call from Tim. He might opt back in.
Horgs, good luck with it. We'll see how it's going next week.
On sale now.
It's on sale now. Frenemies at the iStore, at the Apple iStore. It's Hamish and Andy driving you home.
Ignore that. Ignore all that. It works.
Hey, last week on the show was the launch of an app. It was an invention from Horgs. On this show, he often pops up with inventions. This is the second one that's actually been realised in his life. One was a song called I Hate Mondays. This one is an iPhone app. It's been made. You can download it. Yep. It's called Frenemies. It guarantees you will not bump into your your enemy.
If they have the app. And that's probably the sticking point because you need your enemy to also have the Frenemies app. Yep. That way you can both not friend each other, but frenemy each other. Yeah. And your phones can alert you when you're within 50 metres of your frenemy. And if they're north, it tells you to head south, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the thing. A couple of positives first up. Great news. It made it to number one on the paid entertainment apps.
Great news for Horgs.
Great news for Horgs.
But it's a very specific category, so we don't really know how much that is.
Sort of just like being number one on the Frenemies app. Yeah. But still, we'll take a number one. It's another feather in his hat. Some of the feedback from people, we'll jump to the negatives now. Some of the feedback from people has been, we had someone tweet us yesterday going, listen, it's really draining my battery because your phone is constantly checking every 30 seconds, I think it is updating, looking, on your GPS.
Fine. That's the price you pay to make sure you don't bump into an enemy.
But the guy's phone had drained itself to death because of Frenemies. He then missed his alarm. The phone turned off during the night, missed his alarm. His frenemy is the app. So he's now got a whole world of weirdness because his enemy is the app.
I'm pretty sure people are on fixing that, so don't let that deter you.
That's fine, though. The bug has been... I've just heard it's been fixed. No, look, keep your phones charged. I mean, how badly do you want to avoid your enemies? Just saying, there's been a little bit of feedback. This is what happens when you have a new product in the market. You troubleshoot, you work out the problems. People learn to love it.
The main con has been... my enemy doesn't know about this. I can't really get in contact with them because I'm not friends with them. And they need to download it so I don't run into them. That's why we thought today we might reopen Is This Thing On?
The PA system, but only if you... And this is actually a very good use for the PA system. 131060, give us a call. Tell us who your enemy is. What they did to you. Probably it's going to be a primary school crime where you've noticed a lot of those are primary school crimes. Who was the guy that kicked our producer Sam in the Sydney special area while he was at the bubbler?
It was John Metcalf or something.
Oh, no, John Metcalf sounds like a famous person.
Well, I'll kick us off.
Yeah.
Daniel Hobbs.
Yep. What did he do to you, mate?
He pushed me off the monkey bars, and then when I was crying, he threw sand in my eyes.
So he's a professional fighter. Yep.
Log on to Frenemies.
Get Frenemies,
Lock
Daniel.
me down.
Andy would not like to run into you.
Yeah, not interested.
Yep.
So that's the kind of thing we were after. 131060 now. Ring up, PA system.
Yep. Who's
your enemy? What did they do? Tell them to get Frenemies.
Yeah, you could be the president of America and you want the head of Iran. It works for everyone.
The PA system, Holly, to tick us off. Holly.
Yeah.
PA system's all yours.
Benjamin Tozer, if you're out there, I would like you to join Frenemies.
On what grounds?
Back in first grade in primary school, he took my school hat and weed on it in the boys' toilet.
There you go, Ben
Does sound like a poser. Actually, a poser would have weed on it publicly, so he's let himself down there. Have you ever spoken to him since, Holly?
No, I never wanted the hat back, and I didn't want to talk about it.
Fair enough.
Get on Poser. Download the app. Download the app. We should tell you it's about $1.99.
Sean, the PA system is all yours.
Oh, I'm looking for Stephen from primary school, but I sort of want to use this superpower frenemies for evil instead of good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big dude now, and I'd like to find him. You beat me up every day.
Well, Sean, you've given away your plan there. What you should have said is, Stephen, you know who you are, Stephen. Get the app, and then Sean, when it came up saying Stephen's to the west, head east, you could have just used it to track him down and headed west for the pounding of a lifetime. Not that but don't do that. I mean, we're all grown-ups now. Just stay away from him. That's the braver thing to do.
Thank you, Sean. Casey, on 131060, the PA system's all yours.
Excellent. Pierre Benoit.
Whoa.
If you're out there, don't come looking for me because there'll be trouble.
Yeah.
It was my first day to primary school,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my brand new overalls on. I was really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up and introduced myself to Pierre. And his response was to pour a bucket of sand down the front of my overalls and push me over.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah,
and
it's not cool.
The thing is, Pierre Benoit sounds like an overall brand. Yeah. I can imagine someone wearing overalls and someone goes, oh, wonderful overalls. Are they Pierre Benoit's? So maybe he was jealous that you weren't wearing Pierre Benoit's when you met him, but it still doesn't excuse a bucket of sand being tipped upon you, Case.
Well, Pierre, make sure you download the app because Casey does want to make sure that you are linked in as Frenemies. Thanks very much, Casey. It's Hamish Andy.
Can we say LinkedIn?
Driving you home.